And they were originally going to bill us back for the labor to put the salt shed up, and they agreed to do that for us.
They put the cover up for us. We just paid for the material, and they did everything for free.
And wasn't that the gentleman that came and presented us the specs on that building?
No, we got this is a canvas cover, the one we got on the Smoky Hollow 301 side, because it's a lot smaller than the dome we're gonna get. The one that we used to have over here, when it collapsed last February, and I dug into the records, it collapsed 3 times in 8 years. To me, it's just pure stupidity to rebuild the same thing again. That's why I recommend we invest in a structure for the future. So the other thing we did for the little one on 301, they had the way the struts are, you can get them for severe northern climate, which we did over here. And now the guys, they also have, like when we had so much snow on it last week, they take the bucket truck, the tree truck, and they clean off the roofs to take the weight off of it. But it's coming out good. We get this big shed over here, and we have that over there. We're in pretty good shape with that.
Okay.
And we have money left, the money that you appropriated, the $200,000 for the salt shed, and there's money left over from the insurance, which we're going to do is we're going to make poured concrete bins to keep our material in, because they're supposed to be contained also. So next to the salt shed, we're going to dig into the hill, and I've been speaking to Judy Mangarello, the engineer from the planning board, and we're going to put 3 bins in so we can keep our gravel, we can keep our our sand, we can keep our different item 4 and different materials, and they're contained, and the DEP is happy with that. But just so, Nancy, before also, we are under order by the DEC 1 year to get this shed up, and I'd like to, and the New York State DOT is only letting us use their shed on Ludingtonville Road for 1 year. So I appreciate you letting us get this out right away, because I'd like to hit the ground running in April and start the construction. We're going to do the base work. We're going to put in the base gravel and the blacktop ourselves to save money, and then they're going to come in and construct the shed. But if we can get that, I'd like to actually have a town board meeting down at the garage, say, in June, so everybody can see it. It's going to be good, so.
Well, and the notice to bidders that has been drafted actually gives the date to have bid, that the bid opening would be March 20th. And then we would announce we would award the contract at the town board meeting on March 24th. So if we did that, hopefully they could, if everybody's okay with those dates, that should be enough time. And then, you could start in April.
That was wonderful. And then, so the next meeting, you'll decide, vote on the AC or not?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ready to. I didn't put it on the meeting portion of the agenda because I thought.
When is the
I
next
really
meeting,
give-
Maureen?
At the next meeting?
Next week.
Tuesday.
A week
March
from today?
3rd, yeah.
All right, what I'll do tomorrow is I'll type this up so it's legible, and I'll have it emailed to you so you can look at the rough wattage. And just remember, I'm just using a 30-day average, saying it's on 24 hours a day, so my numbers are a little overinflated, but it's still going to be a large savings.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rich. The next item on the workshop agenda is the Recreation Department Community Projects Appropriation Contract. And I invite Lou Fernandez, our Director of Recreation, to come forward.
Good evening. I wrote the town board a letter in regards to the community projects appropriation contract. This was something that the town had received in 2007. And to date, the work that has been done has been primarily focused on bathroom facilities up at Eustis Park. Now, we have received plans for the fields The Putnam County has approved those plans, and that has taken approximately $19,000 of the $35,000 that was originally awarded. I've spoken to John from Insight Engineering, who gave me the rough estimate costs to construct that, which was about $100,000, not including the actual bathroom facility. And I feel at this point in time, the remaining funds would be better suited to look at some other projects within the park that need to be addressed while the town chews over the idea of maybe bathrooms at Eustis Park at some point in time. There's about $15,000 and change left. The original broad spectrum focus was to increase or to improve the athletic fields at Eustis Park. The specific goal was looking at bathrooms. So I'd like to go back to the state and amend that and see if we can get them to approve a change in our focus and become focused more on what I think the best use of those funds would be to remove the old backstops and put new backstops down at the park there. I think the rough cost in those will probably be about $13,000 to remove and put new ones there. There could be some additional fence work depending on what those prices come in at that we could get done. But it would have to be approved by the state, the change. I'd have to submit the paperwork. They'd have to approve it. Once they approve it, then we could go back out and, I can get the RFPs together to do backstops there and hopefully, get the work done and get the invoices turned into the state and get things done. Because this has been extended quite a few times. The original contract was 2007 to 2009. It has been extended yearly from 2009 till now. So, to this point, I really don't think that the long-term look of bathrooms is going to get us spending that money in the next, 3 or 4 months. I think that's a much longer conversation that the town board needs to have as far as that goes. And that $15,000 won't really come very far as bathrooms go for Eustis Park. So I think that's something that would present a viable change and improvement to the park would be a direction that would be best suited at this time if we can get the approval by the state.
I just have a couple of questions. You say that they estimate the cost of bathroom construction without the building
Yes.
would be $100,000. So that's just for septic?
That is for the septic, the fill, the pits, the engineering fees, all of the costs that would go. That does not include the cost of actually building the building or buying the building. And there has been no cost to the state about a design of building as well. So there's no design. There's a blueprint of the septic system with a building on it, but there's no design for that building. It's a building that's holding a spot for whatever the building design would be, whether it be 2 bathrooms, 3 bathrooms, 3 bathrooms with a small garage. That would have to be designed at a later date as well.
So are we basically deciding whether we authorize amending the plans to do backstops? Is that the question?
Well, seeking approval from the
That's what I'm
state to
saying.
amend the plans,
So we either authorize you to seek approval to get backstops or probably don't use the money. Is that what it is?
At this point, we've had extensions, so I don't know if they will extend us again. I'm not sure if that's something, that they will do. They have, to this point, like I said, there was an advance originally of $8,750, and then over the years, the invoices that have been paid by the state actually number in $23,000, so they've actually overpaid in almost by $4,000. So the town already has $4,000 of roughly state money that if we don't spend any more money, has to go back to the state. So at this point in time, it's either try to get approval to spend what we can of that remaining money, or give back the
Okay,
remaining
so
funds.
So it's just basically whether we want to switch gears and ask the state to do backstops instead of bathrooms?
Yes.
Okay.
Lou, did you see the original application?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't there give some leeway as far as various amenities? It didn't just say bathrooms?
The general provision was to improve the
Bathroom
athletic
planning.
fields.
Yeah.
But the specific actions that we were looking to take were bathrooms. So we would go back to revise our specific actions.
All right, if you feel you have to do that, that's fine. I left, when I wrote that grant and was involved in that, I left some to be general, because usually when you do things like this, you gotta, the part was bathrooms, and incidentally, there was part of a larger amount of money that was being leveraged in, which never, it kind of fell apart. But it's 100% funds, so if you feel you have to change that and get it amended, I urge you to do that. It's 100% reimbursed by the state of New York, and it's slowing down Plan B, C, and D, because they need to see that we're doing this, and unfortunately, we got this in 2007, and we can do some other things as we start to knock on doors, trying to get other funding resources. So, if that's what has to be done, then I urge the town board to change that wording. I didn't think it had to be done, by the way, but if you've made some phone calls,
Yes.
Athletic fields and fixing up athletic fields and stuff, and it's backstop. Also, I want to call your attention to, which I sent an email to you, that Field 2 backstop is the only entranceway to the other 70 acres of land that the town owns. That backstop, you will notice, it's less expensive. It was a portable type thing we set up.
Correct.
Because in the long run, that might have to be removed. But I don't know what your plans are. But there's no question the backstop and some of the fences do need and $15,000 ain't gonna go too far. But we need to jump on it, because we got an extension of a year. I think we got 3 or 4 months left. So we've got to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't put this on the meeting section because generally I try, especially with, issues that might need some consideration, to leave a little space.
Next Tuesday.
Do we
let them
want
do
to-
that work,
Yeah,
the,
do we want to
State.
put this on the meeting section for a vote, or do we even need a vote, or? I don't think,
Because he's just inquiring to see if he can change the stated purpose of the grant.
right. I mean, I
So
think,
we would urge you to
yeah,
go ahead
there we go.
with that, and to see that if we can change the grant, the wording of the grant, so that we could fix the backstops and possibly some of the fencing. I think, I personally think that it would be a much better use of the money to fix the backstops, which we know are in need of repair or replacement. I think that in order to have the kids playing baseball out there, that's more important. We have the porta-johns out there, and the truckers, thank you very much, and the school bus drivers, thank you very much. But I'd like to see the kids have, the backstops, which actually is, going to enhance their games and their recreation.
So the board urges you.
Yes.
We're not taking.
I will fill out the required paperwork to do the change, and then we will have to hear back from the state if they will approve that. If they will, then, we can go forward and get some RFPs from local fence contractors, see what we can definitely do, and then if, what monies with, what are left, if we can do additional fence repair or whatever we can get done to improve the park, then that is what we will do.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Lou.
Lou.
Expedite it as quick as possible. The state is slow.
Yes.
Okay, the next matter on is the sewer district. Review of property owners' requests to opt out of the sewer district. We had Mr. Sclafani here at the last meeting, who made a case for his opting out based on the fact that he doesn't have a building. And since this is, you know, a new procedure under a new law, you know, hopefully the public will excuse us if we are bumbling a little in how to exactly handle this. I don't know. I didn't put anything on for a vote at the end of the meeting because I think that we certainly need to discuss and, you know, perhaps put things on for a vote at the next meeting. But Mr. Sclafani submitted all of his paperwork to the town clerk, who then distributed it to board members, and hopefully everyone's had a chance to review the documentation, so I don't know if we want to have discussion at this point.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna think out loud a little bit here. Basically, what we're being asked to do is take away the amount of use from the sewer district, the gallons, and therefore, he's next year not paying taxes on it because he's not given any. So that's beneficial to him. It could be beneficial to the sewer district because we do have this excess gallons out there with a bunch of unimproved properties, and we've designated them specific estimated amounts. And so if we put this back into the sewer district bank, for example, then if somebody wanted to build something and we were short an amount, we could then allocate that use that's going to be sitting in a bank now to the new developer. And we do have some leeway to, you know, pull some gallons from some properties and give them to others depending on how, you know, the development happens. I mean, these are relatively small parcels, I think, and if, you know, if he doesn't want to be in the sewer district, that's something we can consider, but we also have to remember at this very early stage is that there's a lot of people who aren't going to want to be in the sewer district. Yeah, we have hands being raised, and